Free college football picks. This is action here for Saturday, December 3rd. I'm Tony T with our college football pick show here for Saturday's action. We have all 8 games. Before we get into just a couple of things, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Free college football picks are updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports. We also have NFL. We have college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, World Cup, and more. It is a good time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel, give us that thumbs up. Thanks. Thumbs up, like, we greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the link to the hot cappers and get signed up to some of our long-term passes. You see our hot cappers up here, like Nick has been on fire, Tiffany's been hot, Collins, as well as Ramon. Click the links and get signed up to their long-term passes. You'll find our premium picks here on the center of our page. Also, our best bets. Each capper can release one best bet per sport per day. Many of them are up there right now. And our $15 premium pick is a promotional pick. Each capper can designate one of their picks from their card per day as a $15 premium pick, just to introduce their service to new and existing customers. Many are up there, and you can see many want to make a good impression there with the best bet at $15. Our 3-pack offers great value there on the site. Many of our 3-packs are up there right now, so go ahead and get signed up for those. And our pick ticker, if you'd like to purchase your picks a la carte with team versus team information, you got it right there. Lots of action right here for a Saturday. So go ahead and get signed up. I'll let you know about our promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages while using the promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description. Then click the All Cappers tab and get signed up. Also love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments below. We are looking for cappers, so you can apply over in our footer section of Tony's Picks. And our podcast is Tony's Picks on all major platforms. Every pick in podcast form, every show in podcast form. Just type Tony's Picks in the search on all major platforms. Let's get this one started. Kansas State versus TCU. College football pick. This one here is on Saturday. Kansas State improved to 9-3, a 47-27 home win to Kansas. Wildcats gained 443 yards, 230 rushing on 42 carries. Defensively, they limited the Jayhawks to 4 yards per rush with 180 passing on 33 attempts. Will Howard completed 52% of his passes with 10 yards per attempt. He threw for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the year, Howard a 63% completion rate with 9.3 yards per attempt. TCU 12-0 after that 62-14 home win to Iowa State. Horned Frogs produced 377 yards in this one. And they ran for 131 on 38 attempts. On defense, they allowed 5 yards per rush to the Cyclones with 171 passing yards on 38 attempts. Max Duggan completed 71% of his passes with 8.8 yards per attempt. He threw for 212 yards and 3 touchdowns. Duggan on the campaign a 66% completion rate with 9.2 yards per attempt. I think he calls it Duggan. I just think of Hacksaw Duggan. Duggan, that's right. Horned Frogs won the first meeting behind 495 yards. Duggan threw for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns in the win. TCU halftime adjustments were able to shut out the Wildcats in that second half of their first meeting. The play here, TCU minus 1.5. Toledo versus Ohio, college football pick Saturday. Toledo fell to 7-5 after their 20-14 road defeat at Western Michigan. Rockets gained 334 yards with 99 rushing on 33 carries. On defense, they allowed 4.5 yards per rush to the Broncos with 54 passing yards on 21 attempts. DeQuan Finn completed 45% of his passes in the game, 3.2 yards per attempt. He threw for 35 yards and 2 interceptions. The past 3 games, Finn a 52% completion rate with 6.1 yards per attempt. In this period, he has thrown for 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Ohio improved to 9-3 after their 38-14 home win to Bowling Green. Bobcats posted 384 yards, 188 of it rushing on 54 carries. On defense, they limited the Falcons to 2.5 yards per rush with 229 passing yards on 32 attempts. C.J. Harris, 47% completion rate with 9.3 yards per attempt. He threw for 196 yards and a touchdown. This year, Harris a 45% completion rate with 7 yards per attempt. Bobcats have won 7 straight with covers in all 8 MAC games, holding opponents to 21 points a game while scoring 36. To play here, Ohio +3. Coastal Carolina versus Troy, college football pick. This one goes off here on Saturday, Coastal Carolina fell to 9-2, a 47-7 road defeat to James Madison. Chanticleers gained only 183 yards, 90 of it rushing on 39 carries. On defense, Coastal Carolina allowed 7 yards per rush to the Dukes with 287 passing on 32 attempts. Grayson McCall has been now upgraded as a game-time decision. This season, Grayson has a 69% completion rate with 9.5 yards per attempt. He's thrown for 21 touchdowns and a pick. Backup Jared Guest completing just 44%, 7 yards per attempt. He's thrown for 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. Now, Troy is 10-2, a 48-19 road win at Arkansas State. Trojans put up 412 yards with 268 rushing on 51 carries. Defensively, they limited the Red Wolves to under 2 yards a carry with 221 passing on 37 attempts. Gunnar Watson, 60% completion rate in the win, 9.6 yards per attempt. He threw for 144 yards with a touchdown and interception. This year, Watson, a 61% completion rate with 8.1 yards per attempt. The Trojans have struggled to gain separation against really the quality opponents on their schedule. And there's a chance McCall will play. The play here will be Coastal Carolina plus the 8. Fresno State versus Boise State. College football pick. This one is on Saturday. Fresno State 8-4 after the 30-0 home win to Wyoming. Bulldogs gained 297 yards with 114 rushing on 34 carries. Defensively, they allowed 3 yards per rush to the Cowboys with 104 passing on 29 attempts. Jake Haener completed 65% of his passes with 5.7 yards per attempt. He threw for 183 yards and a touchdown on the season. Haener, a 73% completion rate with 8.5 yards per attempt. Boise State improved to 9-3, 42-23 home win to Utah State. Broncos posted 428 yards with 208 rushing on 36 attempts. Defensively, they allowed nearly 4 yards per rush to the Aggies with 306 passing yards on 42 attempts. Jalen Green, 61% completion rate, 9.6 yards per attempt. This year, Green, a 64% completion rate with 8.2 yards per attempt. Broncos have won 6 of 7. The quarterback change to Green was huge. Fresno State has won 7 straight since their 49-20 road loss at Boise State. But Haener was injured and missed that game. Past 3 games, Boise State averaging 479 yards with 248 rushing for 5.9 yards per attempt. Bulldogs in this period giving up 4.6 yards per rush. Mobile quarterback, the difference here. Plus, the Broncos have been doing a good job defending the pass over the past 3 games. Play here, Boise State -3. UCF versus Tulane. College football pick Saturday. UCF improved to 9-3 with their 46-39 road win at USF. Knights posted 547 yards, 345 rushing on 47 carries. On defense, they surrendered nearly 6 yards here per rush to the Bulls with 140 passing yards on 20 attempts. John Plumlee completed 9 of 9 passing for 73 yards and a touchdown. On the year, Plumlee a 64% completion rate with 8 yards per attempt. Plumlee left the game with a hamstring injury. He is expected to play, but less than 100%, so says his coach. Tulane is 10-2 with their 27-24 road win at Cincinnati. Green Wave produced 383 yards, 221 rushing on 48 carries. Defensively, they did allow over 5.5 yards per rush to the Bearcats with 102 passing on 26 attempts. Michael Pratt, 59% completion rate, 7.4 yards per attempt. He passed for 162 yards and a touchdown. On the year, Pratt, a 65% completion rate with 8.3 yards per attempt. Now remember, the Knights won the first meeting on the road, 38-31 behind 468 yards, 326 of it rushing. The play here, UCF +4. LSU versus Georgia. College football pick. This one goes off here on Saturday. LSU fell to 9-3 with their 38-23 road defeat to Texas A&M. Tigers posted 384 yards, 187 rushing on 32 carries. Defensively, LSU allowed 5.5 yards per carry to the Aggies with 155 passing on 18 carries. Jane Daniels completed 60% of his passes with 5.4 yards per attempt. He passed for 189 yards. On the year, Daniels a 69% completion rate with 7.4 yards per attempt. Georgia 12-0, a 37-14 home win to Georgia Tech. Bulldogs posted 409 yards, 271 rushing on 41 carries. They limited the Yellow Jackets to under 2 yards per rush with 215 passing yards on 36 attempts. Stetson Bennett, 55% completion rate in the win, 7.8 yards per attempt. He passed for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. This year, Bennett a 67% completion rate with 8.6 yards per attempt. Tigers have covered 4 of 5 as an underdog. Daniels' running ability, the key here for the cover play here will be LSU here at +17.5. Clemson versus North Carolina college football pick Saturday. Clemson fell to 10-2, a 31-30 home defeat to South Carolina. Tigers gained 336 yards, 237 rushing on 37 carries. Defensively, they held the Gamecocks to under 2 yards per rush, but gave up 360 passing yards on 39 attempts. DJ Ugagale completed 27% of his passes, 3.4 yards per attempt. He passed for 99 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. This year, Ugagale a 62% completion rate with 6.9 yards per attempt. North Carolina 9-3 following their 30-27 home overtime defeat to NC State. Tar Heels posted 351 yards with 118 rushing on 40 carries. Offensively, they held the Wolfpack to just over 2 yards per rush with 271 passing yards on 41 attempts. Drake made 59% completions, but only 4.8 yards per attempt. He passed for 233 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. On the season, made a 68% completion rate with 8.7 yards per attempt. Two straight losses for UNC as they fell 21-17 at home to Georgia Tech the week prior. Also, they could be down to receiver. Past 3 games, Tigers are holding teams at 304 yards, 2.8 yards per rush, and an average of 4 sacks a game. Tar Heels defense is not generating pressure on the quarterback. To play here, Clemson -7.5. Purdue versus Michigan college football pick Saturday. Purdue improved to 8-4, a 30-16 road win at Indiana. Boilermakers gained 388 yards with 98 rushing on 22 carries. Defensively, they allowed nearly 5 yards per rush to the Hoosiers with 206 passing yards on 43 attempts. Aiden O'Connell, 62% completion rate with 10 yards per attempt. He passed for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. O'Connell on the season, 64% completion rate with 6.9 yards per attempt. Michigan improved to 12-0 with their 45-23 road win at Ohio State. Wolverines put up 530 yards with 252 rushing on 35 carries. Defensively, they allowed nearly 5 yards per carry to the Buckeyes with 349 passing yards on 48 attempts. J.J. McCarthy, 50% completion rate, 11 yards per attempt. He passed for 263 yards with 3 touchdowns. On the year, McCarthy, 65% completion rate with 8.2 yards per attempt. Boilermakers' defense has been performing well the past 3 games, holding teams to 321 yards, 3.9 yards per rush, 5.1 yards per pass up. Respect that Boilermakers' 31-24 win at Illinois 3 weeks ago. The play here, Purdue +17. All right, that was our college football pick show here for action on Saturday. Make sure to like and subscribe. And, of course, visit Tony'sPicks.com for our best bets of the day. A lot of premium picks on the board here for Saturday, so check it out and get signed up and use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save the 20% off. We'll have more picks coming up here later with NBA and college basketball. And don't forget our live show, Morning Steam, at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Tony T. Talk to you guys a little bit later.